Call the meeting to order.
Being called to order, would you like
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's like the TB ward around here. I thought I was sick
Have
last
some
week.
allergies, huh?
I'm on day 10. I'm on day 10 of that respiratory thing.
Oh,
There are no visitors.
No
So
visitors today.
therefore, has everybody had an opportunity to read the minutes from the April meeting?
I just have one question, not a correction.
Yes.
The CPR on May 28th, do you know the time of day?
That's just for the staff.
Okay, so
Yeah, no.
we cannot do that.
No, I'd let you if I had enough money, but I don't. I've talked with Ethan and we're gonna try to set up a day just for, like, we've done it before for anybody, any of the seniors that wanna come do it.
Oh, okay.
It's a little bit of a abbreviated or class, but it's, it's the basics. But yeah, we're working on a date, so.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Are there any other changes or corrections to the minutes?
I move they be accepted.
Second?
All those in favor, please show of hands. Okay. Okay. Alma, old business.
Well, I don't know if group 2 did their homework, but I know Diane and Nancy did some work on the transportation piece of my little tasks that I gave you all. So if they want to take some time to report out what they learned, that would be great. My intention with this is to put what each group learned about this, and we'll put it together to make a recommendation for the town and how it should be handled going forward.
Thank you.
And you'll remember that Rome wasn't built in a day.
Did you read it last night?
Thank you.
In case you couldn't fall asleep.
I have one from last time,
Oh, you have one? Okay.
unless it's changed.
No. Same thing. That's right, you were there when I was making copies.
No, you gave them to us last time, I think.
Oh, by the way, I did get my license renewed, but I haven't gotten it yet.
Oh, it'll take a couple weeks.
Yeah, I have to keep the email with me in case I get
In
stopped.
case you get stopped.
Yeah.
Be good. Oh, good, I'm glad you got it
There might
done.
be a double-
Yeah, well,
Where did you go?
the laptop while I was sitting on my bed.
Oh,
Is there a double?
Is it
Here.
excellent?
we tried it, and the registry was
Was it
having.
two right here?
She's got the double.
Oh, no, we've got one too. No, I sat with Paula a couple weeks ago and we tried, but when we got to the part where they were gonna take my money, it wouldn't take
You
it.
want to take your money. It's fun.
That was fine with me, but it didn't help with this, so I sat down one night, did it at home, took, all the information was still there, I didn't have to answer it all again.
Oh, good, okay.
Yeah, so, all I had to do was give them my Discover card number, so.
Okay, we had a task given to us a couple months back. And one had to do with medical transport, and the other had to do with transportation in general. Nancy and I focus mainly on the transportation in general. And so this kind of gives you an overview of the possibilities, current transportation, and possibilities for future. And I did, kind of out of breath from my coffee.
Would you like a cough drop?
No, okay.
But do you want, oh, you've got some water, okay.
So I did speak with outreach at Northborough Senior Center and Shrewsbury. Some of this I gleaned from them, and there was a new one that was interesting that we mentioned Alma in our quick meeting with her, called the Neighbor Brigade. It's on this list, which is interesting. And apparently some towns already are using that, such as Northborough and Southborough. So it's a possibility we could look into that. It's an organization that's based out of, is it London? Maynard. It's a nonprofit, and it has a network of volunteers, and they don't only do transportation. They also help seniors that they may be returned from a hospital visit, and they need help at home to do certain tasks, or do errands. They kind of expanded beyond transportation. So I thought that might be a good thing to investigate. Because I know you looked it right up on the computer. Right there.
Yeah, well, the other thing too is that unfortunately more times than I like to even think about it, we have some seniors who are going for radiation or chemo, and they need to go like every day for 35 days or something, and that's sometimes hard for Mary Ellen to find enough people to cover all of those, especially if they don't have family in the area or whatever. And my thought was that would be good for something like that, because it wouldn't be a regular thing that they had. It would just be a crisis kind of like help us out thing. So
Is there a charge involved here?
no,
Pardon?
No fee involved?
No what?
no
No.
fee, no.
No, it's volunteer.
Yeah, it's all volunteer.
It's a non-profit organization. So right now, Northborough, Southborough, Maynard, and a few others in Mass are part of it. So it's,
I think probably like when our volunteers take somebody up, and Bob can attest to this, we always tell the person they're taking that, like, if there's a toll or a parking garage fee or whatever, you have to pay that. I mean, I know at Memorial Hospital it's like $3 when I've gone, and I don't know too many people who get on the Mass Pike to go to some of these do you get on the Mass Pike to go to Worcester? No. No. But if, like I said, if there's fees or parking, amounts, then you're responsible for that, so.
I've done that, but I usually just do drop-off, so I don't have any fees involved.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes the volunteer will wait, or whatever the situation is.
Yeah, most of ours are round trip.
Yeah, it doesn't,
Yeah,
it's not a lot of
Mary Ellen,
money,
I
so.
can't do, I can't sit there for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah,
So I
so-
do drop-off.
Some of them are, but like I said, that's the only thing that the person, the patient is paying for, or something like that, so.
Do you know if they require Cory checks of these
do I know
people?
what?
The Cory
Cory
check?
checks. I would venture to say that anybody in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts who drives kids or older people have to be Cory, or do anything with
Exactly.
kids or older people. That was one of your questions. All of our drivers are Cory'd, and a couple times we've come up with some interesting things, but
Yes, yeah.
Is that what the certificate, is that what that means, question? Is there a need for certification?
Certification, core, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
I-
And the Corys are easy now because, I mean, years ago, we used to have to send the Cory form all signed, sealed, and delivered with a prepaid envelope, and it took anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks to get the thing back. Now Mary Ellen does them online, and we get them back in like 2 to 3 minutes. So it doesn't-
Really?
I mean, sometimes it takes a little longer, and usually if it takes longer, it means they are figuring something out that was on it, so.
Is there any insurance requirement for the car?
For us,
No, for the driver.
well, that's what I meant, for our volunteers. That's been discussed, and I've been told that the town won't do that. They're not insured through the town, they're doing it on their own. So if something happens, it's basically your insurance. But I had a lawyer tell me once that if somebody gets in an accident, they're gonna sue you, they're gonna sue the town, they're gonna sue, I mean, they're
Yeah.
going down the line, so.
But I was told my insurance covers me, not
Yeah,
anyone else.
so, and you know, years ago, I know we had, I know we had insurance. There was something that covered volunteers, and we're not the only one we're not the only department that uses volunteers, so I'm not sure how that works, but it's, you know, there's nothing that can be done about that at the moment, so.
So the other thing, I guess veterans have their own transportation. They can call the Veterans Department or whatever.
Yeah,
And Medicaid patients have their own, they go through the doctor, fill out a form, and the doctor gets them transportation for the Medicaid ones. Otherwise, it's a variety of central, Metro West Central transportation issues. Of course, when you hire your own driver, it's gonna be pricey, especially if they have to wait. You know, it's gonna be pricey. But
Yeah.
it's just kind of an overview of what's happening out there.
so the Metro West Shuttle doesn't cover our area because we're not in the Metro West Transit area. We're in the Worcester Regional Transit area. Metro West Transit area got to be probably, oh my God, I'm no good with time, probably 15 to 20 years ago, because they weren't MBTA yet, but they weren't Worcester Regional Transit, so they made their own. And it covers like Ashland, Holliston, like that
Yeah.
other side
That's
of
why I
us.
highlighted, but doesn't seem viable for it.
Yeah, well, because
I just listed it as a.
we get our transit stuff, so the VIA shuttle and the van that does the medical trips on Mondays and Wednesdays.
Because you do have the WITA phone number there.
Yeah,
And, but when I get into the other livery ones, it's gonna be pricey.
yep.
So I guess there's been grants in the past, transportation grants in the past.
It's usually for like vehicles. I haven't ever seen one that, there might be something out there to pay for like Ubers or taxis or whatever, but I know there are a couple senior centers that have vouchers for some of the taxi companies, but I'm not sure how those are funded. I
A
think,
couple of them, there was one senior center that didn't have a grant for that,
yeah, maybe.
but they don't have it now.
From
but they
Metro.
did have it.
Yeah, I think they, like I said, they have vouchers for like Tommy's Taxi or one of those things.
I know, I didn't know he's still around.
Out of Framingham.
I know.
Yeah, out of Framingham.
Yeah,
So-
Ruiz is also in the Framingham area too, but they come here. And there's a Safeway, everybody has seen Safeway transportation vehicles around.
Isn't that a like an ambulance van?
It's
Like a
they
chair van,
transport
a chair
people in
van kind of
wheelchair- Yeah,
thing?
they have a lift
Okay.
and everything, so. Anyway, it's kind of an overview of what I gleaned out of different, and what we discussed. So, it's a start.
It is, thank you.
Nice job.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, very good.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it because now I don't have to fund all this stuff.
That's why you asked us.
Now I don't have to find all that stuff out, so. Okay.
You know, we did discuss something about a language barrier too.
Uh-huh,
So, I think, I also found that we do have guidelines, we have our own transportation guidelines.
yep.
So, I'm assuming when someone calls in here, you ask them certain questions, if they need an interpreter or certain medical equipment and all that.
Yeah, we have a couple people that use our bus regularly who have, they don't, English is not their first language and they maybe can understand it but can't speak it. And I know generally, we have a couple daughters that call in and make the reservations for their parents.
But somebody accompanies them.
Yeah. So, it's working so far. And if anybody's interested, the new bus is here.
Like a sign on the side.
Yeah. Can I tell you how much those sticky things cost? Yeah. It's not painted on, it's all
It's all stickers.
stickies, yeah. Not cheap, but, yeah, so when we're getting a little closer to the end of this, I'll go have, Kristen call Kevin and see if he can bring it back and you can check it out on your way out. There's a few things we gotta customized, that's a good word. But
It looks tiny compared to the
well,
other
it is,
one.
it is a lot
doesn't it?
smaller, but it's, you know, that will be the backup bus. I mean, that'll be the, you know, so,
What's the passenger capacity on that?
8. And the lift for the wheelchair is in the back of it.
I noticed.
So it comes down in the back rather than on the side where you've got to have all that clearance to the sidewalk and all of that. So that's a little bonus. So, okay.
Okay.
So, question if I may, to utilize any of these bus schedules, is there an age requirement? You have to be 55 and older or 70 and
Old.
older?
I didn't come across that. but-
I think for senior, usually they say senior or disabled.
Oh, okay.
That's usually how that
All
works.
right.
Because we probably have half a dozen people that are in their 40s or early 50s that we take regularly places, so, to work and doctor's appointments and stuff, so.
There's a definition of senior that's
The town of Westborough recognizes the age of 60
60.
as a senior.
Another-
AARP says 50, which freaked out all my friends. They thought I was doing that when they all turned 50. It's like, no, it's the great database in the sky that,
There
yeah.
is. Somehow they find you the stroke of the time you turn 50.
Yeah, and some things it's 62, some things it's 65,
That's why I asked.
you know,
Okay.
so, anyway. All right, we already discussed Plan B there. So I know I had talked about this, the directors met with the Springwell people, and we have another meeting, our follow-up meeting tomorrow afternoon. The issue was that the first paperwork she sent us was apparently what she gives her board every month for the meeting. And I can tell you that if I gave you that little information, you could fire me because it was really pathetic. It's like, that's all she tells her board, like, whatever. Then about 2 weeks later, we got the statistics from them about Westborough, you know, each one of our communities, but they were for fiscal year '23, so they're already a year old. And apparently I wasn't the only one who said, this is very nice, however, these are a year old, I wanted something a little more current, like how many Westborough people are on your waiting list? How many, you know, how long is it taking to get these people help? We're figuring at this point it's almost a year to a year and a half, because that seems to be what's happening, except that Meals on Wheels gets done pretty quickly, and we also they can do laundry service, which is really helping with some people. So I'm hoping tomorrow that maybe she'll be a little more forthcoming with us and give us a little better information. If we need to continue to discuss switching us maybe to the Worcester area home care from there, that will require meetings with our legislators and with the selectmen. And, but my sense is from my colleagues that if that's going to happen, we want to get it done by the fall. So, because this just really isn't working. So, anyway. Okay.
Move on to new business?
Yes. And then one thing I totally forgot to put in here. Stephanie, Mary Ellen, and Kristen will be in training on, the man is coming here from my senior center to meet with them on Friday, from like 10 to 1 or 2. So if you have to call on Friday, I'll be here answering the phone, so just be patient. Yeah. And so there's all sorts of new things we can do with that system, and they'll be learning them. The fall, what?
One other old business there. Last month, we spoke about the smock issue. Is there an update on that?
Well, I was gonna call them, I ran out of time before this meeting. They have, a lot of people have been getting their letters from the fuel companies, from SMOC, that the payments are being made. The problem is now that the program ended on April 30th, it was extended to May 10th, so a lot of the fuel companies are not honoring the rest of the money. So if you got, say you got $1,000 and they paid your bill for $600, that other $400, the fuel company won't take that and deliver more oil now because the program ended. So I got an email today from another lady, and she said, we're down to the nibs, and they won't, because it's after April 30th. I will say that there was a family in town that Stephanie worked with, and they're getting a new oil tank because they wouldn't deliver oil until they got a new tank, and she called SMOC and worked with them, and they got it all done, and the tank's being put in on Wednesday. So I said, that's good, because we all needed a win on this one, so.
So the contractors won't take the letter that says the program
Which is really kind of dumb, because they're gonna have the money. It's not like, so I need to call Nick and find out what we can do with that. This was a different oil company than the original one I heard from, so I thought it was just the one, but now I'm finding out it's a different one. So, yeah.
Well, but progress was made, so that's good.
Yeah, oh yeah, I mean, I'm happy about that, because people started finding out they got fuel assistance better late than never, I guess, but.
And the other old business, I would think item, we talked about the secretary position and writing a letter to the select board. I know I didn't get involved in that. But
Okay.
did we? Or is that something other
No,
different?
we can do that. I apologize that I dropped the ball on that one, but I can do that, and you and Linda can. Okay, I'll take care of that before the end of the week. The volunteer breakfast is next Wednesday. If you haven't RSVP'd yet, please do so. It should be a nice day, and it always is. You can have scrambled eggs and.
It wasn't needed, I don't have my cell phone today. Not me.
I know, I told Diana I didn't have my phone all day yesterday. I left it on the kitchen table and I went out and I didn't die. It was wonderful. Anyway, but please RSVP before you leave with Kristen and Mary Ellen, because like I said, it's a nice morning, a nice event, and you get to see all the people. Besides all the work you guys do, you get to see everybody else that does it too, so we're very happy about that. The floors are you ready?
Okay.
Everybody's sitting down?
Yep.
The floors are getting done June 7, 8, and 9. At least that's the last I heard. I haven't heard any different, but that was the plan. So there will be no activities in the building that Friday, but we'll still be here working, and the bus will still be on the road and all of that. But they've got to come in and move furniture and all that. So, but by the time we come back on.
That's the 7th.
Yep, that's a Friday. So they'll have Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So when you come in on June 10th for your Council on Aging meeting, the floors will be all bright and shiny and sparkly and
Oh, nice.
lovely.
You
Yeah.
can take our shoes off.
Yes, I will require you to not, you have to wear your fuzzy slippers and,
I love those.
yeah. Actually, I have a pair under my desk. So
Oh.
You're all set.
I am. So, anyway, so that's the deal, so. And the other thing is too, I know that we've talked about going to visit other senior centers that are community center things. We need to schedule those trips, now that I have enough buses to do that. Because we can all get on the big bus and drive to Sharon.
Oh,
or Natick, or I forget where
And we
else.
can all do that as a group.
Well, I wasn't told we couldn't do that.
All right, good.
I mean, I'll post it if I need to, but whatever.
There's be no talking on the bus.
Yes, there'll be no discussion. I'll have Kevin put a CD in and we'll just crank it up so you can. Anyway, so that's coming up. If we want to try to do a couple of these in June, just kind of let me know when, if you're not going to be available on days, and I'll try to work around it. I mean, you don't have to go to every single one. There's only half a dozen of them or so that are, that replied back to me when I put it out to the MCOA people, so.
Besides Sharon and Natick, where's the closest one around
Natick.
for Natick?
Upton. Well, Upton isn't a community center. Upton is a senior center in the library, which is interesting. Yeah.
Nice mix.
Yeah, different. Lexington, I want to say Rehoboth, and I'm not even sure I know where that is.
Rehoboth is down towards Fairhaven and New Bedford.
Oh, okay.
What's the closest one?
Rehoboth, yeah, Rehoboth is on,
Upton and Natick.
Rehoboth is on the Rhode Island, it's right next to Seekonk.
Well, I knew it was down there somewhere, but
Yeah,
I
Rhode
wasn't sure.
Island line, Bristol County.
And then, yeah, Natick. And then Mendon, there's signs all over Mendon. They're in the process of going after money at town meeting to build a community center, senior center, so.
Their center is very small, I go by it frequently.
Yeah, me too, but they seem to do a lot of good stuff there, so, yeah. And just to let you know that tomorrow night at the Uxbridge Town meeting, they're looking for $180,000 to build pickleball courts.
Wow.
And that's going nowhere fast.
Right.
Yeah, so, all right, let me get back to some of the directors, find out some good dates. We'll get emails out to everybody, and if you can go, you can go. If you can't, take the next trip, so we'll do some of those. So, okay.
Where's the Natick one?
I don't know the names of the streets. East Central Street is where it is. If you go into the center of Natick, you take a right. The fire station's like right there. It's down that road, it's on the right-hand side. And that's probably maybe 10 or so years old. It's a fairly new building. It's lovely. It used to be the Kennedy Senior Center. It was named after a lady who was, she was sort of like the Evelyn Jeffs of Natick. She got all these things moving years ago. And they named, but then when they built the new center, it's just the Natick Community Center. And I think Sudbury is in the process of building something like next door to where they are now, because they were in a renovated school. I think they're looking to move and then do something else with the other buildings, so, yeah.
Programs.
So,
Good stuff coming up.
I know, Mary Ellen needs, I said to Mary Ellen, take a breath. I guess the flower thing went very well last week. I unfortunately was still testing positive for COVID on Tuesday. But she, I guess she had, I don't know, maybe almost 10 people in the class, and everybody enjoyed it. And the boxes, she showed me the pictures, they were beautiful. So we've got, on Wednesday, Chick-fil-A is doing the sandwiches for the grab and go. And then Tammy just did a really nice
I thought
trip.
that was a grab and music.
Well, it is, but
It's a
it's
stay.
grab and stay, or I don't know if everybody's gonna stay or not. Tammy took her Asian outreach group on a trip to Tower Hill last Friday. She sent a lovely, I mean, I guess they had a really nice time. the food was better at DeCordova, but it was okay. I thought that was funny. I've never heard Tammy say anything like that before. They had a very nice time. It was a beautiful day, so you couldn't miss that one. But we have coming up in June. We have engaged a woman. Her name is Anne, and she is going to do a painting class on the first Thursday of every month, except July because it's 4th of July. But she'll come back. And there's a memoir writing class coming up starting in June. The farmer's market, Dr. Karadimos is going to come talk about how to get your feet ready for the summer. Don't walk around barefoot, and flip-flops are the worst thing you could possibly wear. You know, Stephanie's still continuing with the memory cafes, which have picked up the Saturday respite program. They had 4 people there on Saturday, and there's one woman who's bringing her husband next month because I couldn't come this month for some reason. Let's see what else. We've got tickets. All the Tuesday nights are good. We're all set for all of our entertainment. We're just trying to figure out food at this point for a couple of them. We do have 20 tickets for the Worcester Red Sox game on July 10th. There's a trip to Encore Casino on July 15th. And I believe, I didn't write it on this, I believe on the 24th of June, which is a Monday, there's a trip to the Wayside Inn for lunch.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that. And you don't have to drive.
What is that, June?
I believe it's June 24th.
It is the 24th.
Is it? Yeah, okay.
That's the Monday.
That's my mother's favorite place.
Yeah, and then on June 13th rather, number one son is coming to talk about artificial intelligence. I said, just don't scare everybody, honey.
Is July 15th going to Encore?
Yes.
In
No, it's
Boston?
going to Encore, yeah.
Oh, because somehow I had Foxwoods.
Well, that's what we originally thought, but then when the thing came back, it was Encore, so I
Oh,
said, that's fine, because we haven't ever been there, so.
So this Tuesday evening thing is gonna be through the summer, right?
Yep, starting July 9th through to August 27th. So it's 8 weeks.
Are the firemen coming to do it?
The firefighters are coming, the police are doing a luau, the firefighters are doing a barbecue. The man that used to sing with the Platters is coming. Thank Bob Kristen for that. He brought me the card and we played telephone tag for 2 weeks, but we finally got together. Elvis will be here on the last day in August. I should have brought the paper with me. I didn't even think about it, but yeah, it's gonna be a fun summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're gonna have pancake. Oh yeah, the square dancers are coming on
August
the
20th.
20th. Yeah.
I'm a square dancer.
Yeah, no, that's always a fun night, and it's, you know, breakfast for dinner, so you bring a box of cereal with you, and we help stock the food pantry before school goes back, and they're always happy about that. Yeah, so, we'll do a couple ice cream trips and that kind of thing, so. Yeah.
Can we get the Tuesday schedules ahead of time so we know to reserve those
Okay,
times?
so this is the deal about the Tuesday schedule. I have an appointment with the orthopedic doctor about my knee on May 29th. I'm gonna tell him I need 3 weeks. I'm gonna beg him to fix my knee, and then I'm gonna tell him I need 3 weeks, and I'm gonna get that newsletter written, so you'll have it way before, yeah. And then I don't have to worry about it, and they can all do the rest of it without me. And as soon as I can drive again, I'll be back. That's my plan.
Send a lift.
So that'll be after
Yeah,
the,
well, I'll try not to fall down, but,
Good luck.
yeah. Hopefully I'll have one good leg that won't let me fall down anymore, that's right. The clam bake trip is August 22nd. I had sent an email out to all of my instructors asking them what their summer plans were, and some of them have gotten back to me that they're vacation this week and whatever, but for the most part, none of our classes are gonna be totally suspended for the whole summer. The veterans will have a breakfast here on September 14th. Yeah, so, and then crazy starts again with the Veterans Banquet and the fair. The fair is going to be on the 16th of November. Yep, and then we have that election thing around there too. So,
Do we need to elect
in September.
offices?
In
That'll be
September.
September?
Mhm.
Okay.
Are the supporters handling the fair this year?
Don't ask any.
Okay.
I don't know the answer to that question.
I think they're planning on it.
What'd you say?
I think they're planning on it.
Oh, yeah, they are planning, I mean, I met with them when they were here last Thursday. They're definitely planning on doing a fair. And I said to them, you know, the more of these dates I have on the calendar, the better off it is for everybody. So I can leave you all in good hands by the end of the year. I think that, you know, they're discussing maybe doing a yard sale sometime early in the fall, and then not doing the grandma's attic stuff at the fair and having more room for other things. I mean, so they're still talking, but at least we have a date.
Alma, what did you say was in September?
My sister's birthday.
Veterans Breakfast. on the
Veterans
14th.
breakfast
Yeah,
on the
but then what
14th.
did you
Oh,
say
oh.
after that? You said something else too.
Oh, I don't know.
September.
Yard sale, potentially.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sale with a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
What time do the Tuesday events take place?
What time? We usually start between 5 and 5:30, because for the most part, we feed you dinner and then entertain you for a little while and then send you home before Jeopardy.
Good.
Not before Wheel of
Doesn't
Fortune.
matter, I record it.
I do too.
I record it. I can't do that.
And you can zip through the commercials.
That's true.
But if you do that, then when do you get up to go to the bathroom if you sit through
only
the
half an
commercials?
hour.
Yes, 20 minutes when you
No.
take your
You
hands up.
Before it starts. Yeah.
It's actually only 20 minutes, yeah.
When you take
Yeah,
your
if you
hands
zip
up.
through.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, because most hour-long programs are only 43 minutes. So.
Exactly.
And don't forget, you know, Bagels with the Board's continuing as we go along. We'll skip July and August, but we'll be back with that in September. The police chief is going to come back with breakfast in September. Yeah, so.
Busy.
You've got a wonderful lineup, my goodness. Sounds
So
great.
it's just July meeting we don't have, or is it? all-
Yeah, well, usually we don't meet in July unless there's some reason for us, because it would be like the day after 4th of July weekend and whatever. I mean, if there's something really going on, I just need 48 hours and post it and get everybody here for something that's, you know.
I think there was I've only been here 3 years, but I think there was one July we did meet for something.
For something, yeah, but I
There was
can't remember
one-
what
or
it
was it
was.
community center or something?
Maybe that was right when COVID was ending. I can't remember. But like I said, I know where you all live, so if I need you, I will summon you.
We have all our emails and phone numbers.
I do.
Yeah.
Thank you, Guido. Yeah, I met with the caregiver group on last week, and last year I think we met once in July and once in August instead of twice, because so we're talking about that too. So I mean, Stephanie may, I think there's 1 month she's not gonna do the Saturday program because she's not here. So she'll be on vacation, so well, it'll all be,
She's moving to the first.
is she?
From
Was she
the-
gonna move
from
it?
the-
Okay, she wasn't sure what she was gonna do with all that yet, so. But, I mean, there'll be plenty to do, and we're trying to keep it. It's amazing to me when I look at how much some of the other senior centers charge for stuff. I'm just, I don't know. I'm curious as to how many people they actually get to go to some of these things and on some of these trips, because I just think it's out of reach for a lot of people, so I'd rather subsidize a little more so everybody can go and enjoy it and not
Right.
be. So,
Do you have any speakers lined up for this coming month before the July 1st?
no, I don't. The first speaker we're having is, and I traditionally don't do a lot of like speakery kind of things in the summer because people aren't around. And I'd rather wait and do them in the fall and before it starts to snow when more people are around and looking for things to do. Because in the summer it's kind of catch can, so we will still do a few things, but I think ice cream trips go better than lectures about
Yeah.
diabetes. You know?
Well put.
Call me crazy, but it's,
You might need all three buses.
yeah, well, that's
Such a draw.
yeah, so. And if anybody wants to try it, the new watermelon donut at Dunkin' is delicious. However, it's covered with sugar that falls off in chunks when you bite into it. So you need a plate and a bib, but
Other than that.
other than that, yeah, it makes a
Probably
mess. But
2,000 grams of sugar.
It was
Exactly.
worth, it was worth the, yeah, it was worth it, so.
It's the mess.
Anybody tried the two, like beside Dunkin' Donuts on Route 9, there's a chicken something?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I
And
haven't
there's
tried
another
it.
one downtown, does anybody? has
Oh, I know the
anybody
place
tried
next to the town hall has great barbecue.
It's
Oh, the
it's
Coop.
very good.
The Coop.
The Coop, I've
Yeah.
never been
That's my
there yet.
grandson's favorite
Is it good?
place.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, here, it's really good.
Yeah.
I've thought about going in a couple times, but there's like always too many kids in there, so.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, the reason I asked, I was wondering about the Steinberg, whether we were gonna
yeah,
get
well,
that
that's what I was gonna
tax,
talk to you about. Do you
schedule.
want me to try to get somebody here in June, or do you wanna just wait and have them come in September?
For what are we talking?
Well, John Steinberg was gonna come to talk about what was involved with what the town offers for tax assistance. And it was basically, some of that was just to educate, because that was something else that came up on the needs assessment about the taxes. But that was basically to educate you all so that you know what's available. If, you know, somebody
People
says
ask.
something to you, then you'll at least have the answer to the, I mean, that's a lot of times my process is so that, because I know you all go to church and you all go to, you know, play cards and you all do this, that, and the other thing. If somebody says to you, oh, well, the town doesn't do it, it's like, well, yeah, no, that's not exactly true. This is what they offer and this is who you need to talk to, because I don't like you not knowing what you're talking about.
The last time he was here, he left a one sheet, a list of all the programs without any details.
Yeah, and
but
some
at
of that
least he
has,
had
some
that.
of that's changed, so.
And there has been a committee working on trying to get new ideas,
Yeah,
and that's
and
why
we
I
haven't
was
met,
hoping,
we didn't meet last year at all.
not at
But
all.
a lot of those other programs are based on qualifying for the circuit breaker. So you kind of have to start there for the qualifications for that.
Yep, but they've also changed they've changed those numbers a little bit too, so.
Yeah, they adjust them yearly, usually, so. But basically you have to qualify for circuit breaker.
And I think the thing that concerns me a lot about that is that people who have their taxes done by somebody and they don't know anything about that, it would seem to me that if you're a certified tax person in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, you should know about that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
what,
And
you
the
know?
ARP guys, that's one of the
They know about it,
basic
but
things
not
that they do, yep.
everybody. So. I mean, I can see if John's available to come next month if you want me to.
The only other alternative was somebody to talk about what happens July 1st. I mean,
Well, I'm still working on that. I'm still working on that. She was gonna try to get everybody together sometime that end of May, and we'd have to like do a blast on my senior center and, you know, all of that. I have not heard back from her, but I will call her and see. I know this is distressing people, because I keep hearing it. But they're glad that we're gonna sell the bags here. And how is Kristen gonna have time to do that with everything else she does?
Right.
I mean, I don't think there's gonna be lines at the window for people buying bags.
But you have to inform them, I've been informing everybody by July 1st or something, because you have to pay the new fee by July 1st. Whatever that is.
Yeah, well, you can you still get a dump sticker, but the whole process is a little bit different.
They
than
still
it used
haven't
to.
announced how much it is or anything.
No.
I mean, there's a lot of things that appear to still be up in the air.
Not my department, I have no control.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know that I guess there were quite a few people that went to the meeting they had, one day last week? Because one of the people in my support group had gone, like, was it maybe the 7th or the 6th or something? They had I guess they had 2 meetings scheduled, but they were both in the evening, and that's why I asked if we could do one here during the day for all those seniors who don't drive at night or don't have any way to get out at night except to use the bus and all that good stuff, so. Yep. So, the good thing is now we know how to blast it out on my senior center, so. I think that's so cool, and I don't know how to do it, but they do, so that's.
I didn't know there was a My Senior Center blast.
No.
Yeah,
What
so,
is this?
so if you,
Where is that?
does anybody have a copy of the newsletter with them? Or this month or last month, or? Is there one over there?
Something here, let me see what it is.
Okay, oh, I got one, Bob, thanks. So, in your newsletter, there is a number on page 4, 617-855-0125. This is the number that will show up on your caller ID if you receive a call from the senior center letting you know that a class has been canceled or to remind you of an event. You cannot call us back on this number.
Okay, I remember reading that.
This is the
Okay.
And
second month that we've
I
got
think,
that.
well, it's gonna be in there for a while.
Yeah.
I think that, people, I mean, and you're kind of trained, although some people do it anyway, but if you don't recognize the number or the name, don't answer it.
Take that number and
But
put
this
it in
is,
your phone.
yeah,
Yes, I
this is
will.
the number that will come up if it's from us and it's to
Okay.
tell you about something.
When the Worcester Senior Center send out a blast, it comes in as spam risk.
Yeah, well, ours comes in
Unless you
from,
put it in your phone, the name.
yeah, it comes in as Needham, 617
617.
855 0125.
And it comes in as what? What will it
I
say?
think it just says, it's the number, and I think it says like
Just says the
Needham or
Oh.
Newton or something.
Okay.
It gives a town underneath it because it's coming through there, but it's
Okay.
us. And like I said, you can't call that number back.
Yeah, okay. I'll put that
So how do you
later.
plug this into your system?
Just where you've got senior center
As a
presumably
contact?
now in the contact, just add it as
Yeah,
a
you
second
can do
number.
that.
Okay.
There.
And depending upon what the primary number was that you gave us on your senior center when you applied for your little key tag, so it's either gonna come up on your cell phone if that's the primary number, or it's gonna come up on your generally 366 number. So,
I am just going to take a minute of your time. I almost fell victim to a scam. I was sitting at my computer, which I do every few days, And all of a sudden, the screen went white, blank. Everything was gone, and I'm like, oh, what? And then the Bank of America logo came up on the screen with an American-sounding woman saying, it is imperative that you follow these instructions, blah, blah.
Turn your computer off.
Don't turn your computer off.
Oh, I know.
Don't turn your computer
I
on.
mean, it just went on. And when I finally thought of all the programs I've sat through here and at church, I wrote on a piece of paper. I kept the phone on, wrote on a piece of paper, please call my daughter, and took it next door. And Wayne did.
Yep.
And,
Did you turn the computer off?
no, I was out of the house. I thought, whatever. I don't know what I thought, other than I felt about this big, because I thought, how stupid can you get? Well, I am a victim. So anyway, Wayne came right over. My daughter said, Mom, I'm on my way up. No, stay home. And we got it resolved, because unfortunately, my accounts, checking and savings, are with Bank of America. And I'm thinking, taxes are due, in a few more days. I have no money. Well, it was a nightmare. But after Wayne took care of all of that, he called Bank of America on that. There's a number on the back of your card. Called, and from my house, and said, I'm here with, this woman, blah, blah. And anyway, the bank assured me that none of my funds had been
Taken.
touched as of yet. That whatever, it's over. But she did say, I am going to send you new Bank of America cards, debit cards, credit cards,
Which is a pain in the neck, because anything that you've got tied to
Yeah.
that credit card, you have to,
Change the number.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't buy tickets at Ticketmaster because the number I was trying to give them was not the number they had on file. It's like, but I don't have that number anymore, and you can't, in some of these places, you can't talk to anybody.
Right.
No.
So, yeah. Also, if somebody drives up to your house on a Segway and wants to talk to you about mosquito stuff, that's also a big scam that's going around in other communities. I heard that yesterday. I was shocked. I was sitting at a table with a bunch of people from some, close towns, but different towns. And I guess somebody went up my sister's driveway, which is very long because her house is in the back, one of three. And the kid comes up the driveway on the Segway, and she happened to see him out the front window. She's like, what is this? Well, he wanted to talk to her about mosquito protection, and her friend Molly, who lives in Hopedale, she said the same thing. Somebody was at her house. And I said, I think some of that is they're trying to figure out who's home during the day
Yeah, probably.
and who's not home during the day.
Yeah.
And then somebody else said that they had seen that whole thing in Milford too, so it's around. So if anybody comes to your house on a Segway, don't answer the door. Tell them to go away.
Well, I have heard that if you
Beware of the dog.
get your screen
Sign up.
compromised, just shut your computer down,
Yes.
I now
turn it off.
I see the whole picture at the very beginning. It's like, where did everything go? Bang, and then up comes the logo and the woman's voice, which was very clear and distinct. And then a man came, she said, I'm gonna put you through now to whatever she said. And it was a man who did not speak very good English. And that's when I thought, I'm caught.
Unfortunately, you weren't. That's good.
Well, fortunately, you didn't lose any money. I got scammed quite a while ago and I lost money.
Really?
I lost, yeah, I did.
What kind of scam?
It's,
It was somebody who, I had a text on my email and it said that, I guess some of my things were compromised or whatever and call this number. Well, I made the mistake of calling the number. And it was with those credit cards, what are they?
Yeah,
gift cards.
Huh?
Gift cards?
yeah.
Yeah, the gift cards. And, I mean, I had no idea. I just figured, oh, I'm gonna fix this problem because they said I had 4 different
Yep.
charges or whatever. And I thought, I'm a big girl, I can take care of this.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, after I
When you
lost
get an
money.
email, look at the URL or the sender's address, because a lot of times that'll give you the clue that this is a scam.
Yep.
Yep.
And instead of talking to my daughter and my husband, I figured, I'll take care of this myself. Well, it never would have happened if I had talked to them.
Yeah.
So it was,
But they're getting,
really
but they're getting
stupid
smarter though, because I
thing on
got
my
I got a text message from FastPass, you know, the thing
Oh,
that
yeah.
sticks on here, telling me that I owed them a bunch of money. And I had just reactivated it a couple of years, because I used to use it all the time when I went out to Amherst to see Jack, but I don't get on the Mass Pike very often. And, but the thing was that I couldn't, I clicked it, and it was a text message, it wasn't an email. And in order to get to to find out what it was or who I owed money to, I had to put in my driver's license number to get to the next thing. Well, it was for SunPass in Florida. Well, I can guarantee you without a moment's hesitation that number one, I never drive when I'm in Florida because Patty likes to drive and I don't. And my car's never been in Florida either, so yeah. So it wasn't anything. So I contacted Michelle, and she said, oh, I got one of those too. And then about a week later, I got an email from FastPass and the RMV saying that this is going around and don't click on it. But I'm trying to think of all the things anything that they could apply for or whatever with my driver's license number and not my social security number, and I pretty much didn't come up with much of anything, so I'm not really concerned, but still.
We're talking about things we don't recognize on the computer. Could you mention
Oh, yeah.
the ethics training?
Oh yeah, and by the way, it's time to do that again. However, you don't have to print anything and give it to me now, because you'll have your own account and it'll check you off and let Debbie know.
Did we do that when we first joined?
Yes.
You gotta do it every 2 years.
Yeah, but I haven't been here 2 years yet, so.
Right.
Well,
But I did it when I first came.
but if you
right?
do it with everybody else, then you're in the same sync with everybody else. I just, you know.
So I went looking, I couldn't find any trace of anything called, skill burst.
Me either, I couldn't.
So they haven't sent anything out yet.
Oh,
I
did.
tried to get on myself because it said it was time for me to do it. And I couldn't get on. I even went down to the town clerk's office and said, I can't get on the site, so how do I do this ethics training? Never heard back.
Well,
She was gonna contact the commission or something.
Yeah.
And I never heard back, so I haven't done it and I'm overdue.
It's not well, this was a brand new notification. There was a big letter that came with this, but this was the crux of it. It's not unusual for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to shoot out something like this and then have it totally inaccessible, so. That
try
comes
again?
with formula grants and statistics and all that kind of stuff, so it's not.
Actually, I did it.
You did it?
I
You
did.
were,
I got my certificate back too.
Diane did it. Okay,
Oh.
so it's not impossible, it's just,
But it was a little tricky. It was a little tricky thing, but I did get it. And I went through the questions. It was like 11 o'clock at night. I said, why am I doing it now? But
Now, if our account's already in place, we shouldn't have to put our account in
And this is a
again.
new system, I guess.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
yeah, this is a brand new way,
So
because
that-
in the past, you used to have to do it and then bring me your certificate, and I sent them all up to Debbie after you printed them.
Yeah.
And we don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah,
This says we'll
brand
get
new.
an email
saying that you've been.
If you completed it in 2023, which I must have, that's when I joined here.
Yeah.
You'll get an email. So I haven't gotten an email, it's still not in the works yet?
I don't know.
That's what I say, I got nothing. I thought it might have gone to junk folder. And there's nothing there either, but I clean it out every now and then, so I could have deleted it.
I don't.
So do you
clean mine.
have
Doesn't
to,
matter.
under this new system, do we have to do a new account, log in to a new
I had to do a new
account?
login, because when I
Okay,
got in here, was it 3 years ago, that was a different one. So I had to do a new login
okay.
setup. That
I'll
way,
try.
once you get through this, they're automatically notified you've done the
Yeah.
course, so you
Yes.
don't have to worry about giving them anything.
Yes.
You don't have to do that anymore. I need to buy one of those little books to put all my passwords and all that stuff in, because I just
I'll
don't.
try it again, see
I have
if
a
I can
settle
get through.
pad. A settle pad, I put the pages.
I have a.
You're right.
This one needs,
All my notes, you know.
Don't worry.
By the
4
way,
letters, 3 numbers, and a unicorn. This one, whatever, it's crazy.
I received my email from Debbie,
I have all
Debbie
my.
Ledoux.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's where I got mine.
saying that you,
But it was a little tricky, I had a,
Sleep about 6 years.
it was a little tricky in one area, but I got through it.
That's what I do.
all right, well,
They would have
do the
it
best you can,
calendarized.
and I'll talk to
When you
Debbie and
do
see if I get any
Complete it.
hints from her.
Okay.
I'll give it a shot.
Just don't do it at 11 o'clock after you've had a couple of cocktails.
Oh, no, that wasn't.
Although maybe that's the best time to do it, I'm not sure, but. Yeah, so,
Okay.
anyway,
Okay.
all right.
When's our next meeting, please?
Our next meeting is on Monday, June 10th at 1 o'clock.
It's on the
Oh,
list
it's already
we
there.
got last week.
Oh, okay, thank
I make a motion to adjourn?
You can if you want to.
I second it.
I third it.
All those in favor?
Unanimously, yeah.